Hey guys, it's me, Dustclaw here. Recently, Alibaba Pictures, a Chinese film company, has announced that they're making a Warriors movie. Just saying the words gives me feelings of both excitement and nervousness. But setting those feelings aside, for now, I also feel like this is an opportune time to review the history of these books and the reasons for its success. When did they start? Who writes them? Why are they so popular? The story of the Warriors series began in 2003, when publisher HarperCollins contacted English author Victoria Holmes. They wanted her to write a book about wild cats that could appeal to a younger audience. Initially, Holmes was unsure, but she got to work and began formulating a story. Originally, the plan was for only one book. Quickly, that plan expanded into several books, and eventually a complete six-book series. Victoria Holmes brought on another author, Kate Carey, to help her with the writing. Around book three of the original series, they added Sherith Baldry. Together, they took the pseudonym Aaron Hunter to avoid confusion. Victoria, Kate, and Sherith aren't the only people covered under the Aaron Hunter name. Tui Sutherland, for example, wrote some of the field guides. All in all, the name Aaron Hunter actually covers seven people. Wait, seven people? Hold on. Gillian Phillip? And Bali Israelis? Rosie Best? Who are these people? Oh, they write the Seekers and Survivors series. We don't talk about those. Let's step away from the terrifying amalgamation that is Aaron Hunter and get back to Warriors. The first series of books sold well, so they made another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and a ton of super editions, and some novellas, and some manga, and some field guides. In the almost 14 years this series has been around, they've put out over 70 books. That's a lot of books. Seeing the massive volume of books that makes up the Warriors series makes me wonder, why do these books resonate with me and so many other people? What makes them special? This is something that's slightly beyond the objective facts. All the stuff I've told you already can be found with a simple Google search. Heck, right now, this video is really only a step above me just reading out a Wikipedia article to you. But what Warriors is more than just who writes them or when they started. The Warriors books are what really got me into reading as a kid. Unlike some kids, I never hated reading, but the Warriors books are the first books I can remember falling in love with. I was, and still am, rather picky about my books. Even though I might love one book or book series by an author, usually I'm not at all interested in their other work. I can't explain why this is, it's just something I've noticed. Sometimes a book or book series clicks with me, and sometimes it doesn't. So, once I find a series I like, I'm completely rabid for it. Warriors turned out to be the perfect book series for me, in this case. One of its strong points is simply the sheer size of it. As I mentioned earlier, there are so many Warriors books. Although it can be daunting or confusing for readers just jumping in, having so many volumes means that readers can get lost in the world and never have to leave. I've reread the Warriors books at least 3 or 4 times now, and I'm in the process of doing so yet again. And because the series is so large, it doesn't really get stale like reading a single book over and over again can. Of course, the Warriors series would never have grown so big without some other alluring qualities. Personally, I've always gravitated towards fantasy novels because of the fantastical worlds they describe. I think these kinds of books get many children into reading. A little magic and mythicality can pull new readers in a way that realistic fiction usually can't. That's probably why books like Harry Potter or Artemis Fowl are the first books a lot of people my age were hooked on as kids. But Warriors does something different. Instead of offering a strange, wondrous fantasy land, these books are set in a world that's practically identical to our own. There are no mythical beasts, no exotic races like elves or dwarves, no magical artifacts, no reality bending landscapes. Aside from the shenanigans of StarClan, the Warriors' world is ordinary. And that's what makes it unique. The Warriors books describe reality in a way that makes it feel like fantasy, and that's because the story is told from the point of view of cats. To us, the woods, the marshes, the rivers, these are just places, a little buggy, a little dirty. Maybe you'd camp or hike there and have a good time, but you wouldn't stay for long before returning to society. To the clans, however, the wilderness means so much. It is shelter, home, where their family is, and a place they must defend and protect. This new way of looking at things expands to our urban surroundings as well. What's a simple neighborhood to you or me is a terrifying two-legged place, a maze of danger and the unknown. A car is a terrifying roaring monster contained only barely by the hard black thunder paths. Roads. Your house cat Fluffy is clearly some sort of prisoner who has developed Stockholm Syndrome. After all, who would want to live with the strange and mysterious two legs? What may appear to us as a cute dog is, to a cat, a violent, snarling beast. Speaking of cats, what about the cats themselves? I'll admit, before I read the Warriors books, I was more of a dog person. But reading about these cats and their clans made me think about them differently. The cats and warriors are such characters: brave, loyal, wise, eager, ambitious, jealous, arrogant. If you can name a character trait, chances are there's a warrior cat out there that embodies that trait. You've probably heard the often repeated quote about warriors, how it's certain to please any reader who has ever wondered what dreams of grandeur may haunt the family cat. And although I had never really interacted with them, I did begin to wonder. This is why I love animal fiction in general. It makes you see animals as something closer to human. Whether it's true or not isn't important. The point is, it changes the way you view the world around you. There's a feeling of envy that most good fantasy novels give me, and I'm sure this is true for other people as well. When we read these books about astounding magical realms and such, it's easy to say, man, I wish I could live in that world. It's so much cooler than our world. The thing about warriors is, it is our world, only viewed from a different perspective. If you want to explore the world of warriors, you can. It starts just outside your backyard fence. Sure, the clans themselves don't exist, but the forests, the moors, the rivers, the lakes, the mountains, those are all very real. Let's face it, guys. You will never be able to join a clan. Just like you'll never visit Hogwarts and be a wizard or become a Jedi in space. But there are places in nature that look exactly like where you might find a clan. And you can go out there to sit, to listen, to imagine. Whew. Thanks for letting me ramble at you about these books. If you've never read them before, then obviously I suggest you do that. They're worth your time, trust me. If you have read them before, then please tell me in the comments what makes them so captivating to you. I covered some of the reasons why I think this series is so great, and I want to hear other people's views on this. Warriors is a book series with so many facets. There are plenty more reasons for this series' success than what I covered. It's me, Dustclaw, here, signing off.